Here's 4 problems on estimating limits. We're going to do it numerically to start with. Then I'll do another video talking about how to do it graphically. So numerically, what happens as the input gets closer and closer to 2 on this? Well, if you're going to do it numerically, you got to plug in numbers. So I can't plug in 2. Limits are near, not at, but maybe I could plug in 2.1. So let's say 3 times 2.1 minus 6. Maybe I need to put parentheses around that whole numerator. Okay, so there's the whole numerator divided by, let's say 2.1 squared minus 4. Well, that's coming out to 0.7. So if we had a little table here and this was the x values, at 2.1, it's 0.73. 2 is how you'd estimate that. Well, maybe you say to yourself, I'd kind of like to be more accurate there. So I think I'm able to go back. Let's see, how do I get back up there to the entry? Maybe it's really 0.701. That's getting pretty close, right? 01. What's happening there? Well, if you put in 2.01, that's getting pretty close. That's 0.748. Well, that is assuming that we're coming on the right. And limits, we have to think about the right. But what if you're a little smaller than this? What if you're at 1.9, say? Well, that's a valid way to be close, near, not at 2, right? So let's look at that. At 1.9, you can sort of see we're at 0.769. So a little bit different. Let's look at one more. Let's look at 1.99. That's getting pretty close. And I mean, if you wanted to be real close, you could do 999 or something like 0.752. So you know, maybe we'll just do one more. I said I wouldn't, but let's put in a 99 and a 99. Man, that's getting really close to 0.75, isn't it? So that's kind of the game we play. Now notice this is so minor a difference, right? This problem here, I'm doing the same thing. So maybe I would estimate the answer to be, the output to be 0.75 or 3/4. Well, what about this? The only thing difference is a 3 in the denominator. So let's go back up here, and instead of this, I'm going to put in a 3. And as long as I'm on the smaller side, let's start with 1.9. Okay, so turns out, you know, if this was my y values, 1.9, negative 0.492. Or if I added another 9, negative 0.031. Oh my, that's getting close to 0 on that side. Well, I need to be near, not out. Don't plug in 2, but plug in things close to 2. Let's go to the bigger side. 2.1. 2.1. 0.213. And let's put in 2.01. If you get confused by my calculator strikes, you can always slow it down or go back on the video. But I'm going to guess that that's going to 0. Can you see how that's just barely smaller than 0, barely bigger than 0? I'm going to guess the limit's going to 0. Well, okay. What if instead of changing the denominator by a little bit, what if I changed the numerator by a little bit here? What would happen there? Well, you might say, you know, I mean, so, okay, that only changed by 3/4 the last time, but let me try again. This time I want to make that a 5, and I'm going to make that a 4 again. Okay, well 3, that's a little bit bigger. 3.2, let's say. What happens if I put in a 01 there? $25.7. Okay, so that is not calming down at all. And if you went 001, it would get even bigger. Well, what happens if we go to 1.9? You're at negative 1.8. And if you went to, oops, that was not what I was hoping for. Now I'm looking for 1.99, right? Negative 24. So what I would say here is, wow, this is going off to 25. This is going to negative 24. That is not getting close to anything. And so I would say the limit does not exist. Okay? But let's imagine I wanted to say, well, on the bottom side, it looks like it exists. So you have a little negative sign there, means from the left, okay? From the negative side, from below 2. And so I might even go again. I might go one more time, and I might say, well, these seem to be going in a very particular direction, okay? So let's try this with another 9 there. And in fact, negative 249, this is actually going towards negative infinity. You could say it doesn't exist, but it's going a very particular way. Whereas this is going two opposite directions, depending on which direction you come from. Hope that helps.